back. We have got to get ready for another Leatherwood off-road park adventure trip. We are meeting the group out of Michigan called Mitten State Tours Group. And anyway, we're joining those guys for a run down at Leatherwood here in a day and a half, and still running behind. Anyway, I've got two bad trailer tires, and that's what we've got to handle right now. All right, so for this process, we only need a couple of things. Now, there's a couple tools that I've gathered over time, and I'll show you what those are. First off, you can get these just about anywhere. There's a couple different styles. This one's kind of like a screwdriver. This is a core remover. So inside your valve stem, there's a piece that screws into the inside called a valve core. We're going to twist that thing out of there. That's going to let all the air go out, all the air release. But keep in mind that as you get to the point of where it's going to come out with all that air pressure in there, it's going to want to spit it out of there like a spit wad out of a straw. So make sure you keep your fingers over the hole. Well, the second thing we need is some soapy water, and just some Dawn dish soap and some water. That's all we need. The next tool we need is going to be the trusty heavy duty bead buster, tire hammer. I don't advise doing this on aluminum wheels unless you're really skilled. I struggle just hitting the spot with the steel wheels. And most importantly, we need some tires. Got these bad boys off of Priority Tire on PriorityTire.com. I've used them for tires a few times here recently. They seem to be of good value. Priority tires is what I use to put on my Chevrolet that I drive all the time. And I don't remember if I bought these or bought the original tires for the trailer on there. I don't remember, but I've been using them here lately and I've been pretty happy with them. They're usually really quick and they're easy to find what you need. So anyway, let's get the air excavated out of these tires. Alrighty. Got a valve core down in there. So it's got a little notch, and that's what catches the valve core. You'll feel it drop in. All right, the next step, soapy water. You want to get the tire wet pretty much where you're going to hit it with a hammer. And you need that hammer to hit here and slide down underneath the bead. That's what you need. And therefore, the thickness of that bill, the duck bill, will push it down. You do that in a few spots, sometimes one spot, and you break the bead. Flip it over, repeat, rinse and repeat. Same thing on the other tire. So let's do that. One. Now, if these tires have been on there a while, they don't like to come off. There we go, there's the other side. All right, that's one. I'm gonna get the other one, and then I'll show you my homemade tire changer. All right, this is my homemade tire changer. It resembles some old style ones, kind of similar to the one you'll find on Harbor Freight, only mine's a little more sturdy built. Anyway, this is what holds the wheel down. This is what keeps the wheel from spinning. And And this here is my real janky tire spoon. This will help me buzz it off the wheel. Let me show you what I'm talking about. There again, soapy water is your friend. Just need to wet it down. Grab your spoon, or whatever they call this thing. Get it down under the bead. Pry it up. You're going to leverage off your center pin. I didn't have enough room to go all the way around. So we'll go backward. There we go. There's one bead. Come on now. Ouch. The bottom bead kind of rehooked a little. There it goes. Just gonna lift the tire, do the same thing. Try to grab the inner bead. Voila! One tire off. All right, this is a good time to check your wheel, see if it's got any problems, any rust spots, dirt, debris, anything that may keep that bead from sealing. Got one little bubble spot there. I think it's going to be fine. Yep, put the new tire on. All right, next step, new tire. Now, we're probably gonna have some problem getting some air in these. It's because the way they were shipped. These were clamped in really tight. They really need to be out some in order for it to seat on the bead. On this surface here and this surface here, but we'll have to fight that when we get to it. But maybe we'll get lucky, more likely not, and we'll have to implement another trick. So anyway, let me get it. Whoa! Let me get it on there first. Usually on a passenger tire, a truck tire, there's a dot, and you would line that yellow dot up with a valve stem, but I didn't see a dot on these, and I'm not sure what other signifier there is. And it doesn't matter anyway because I'm not balancing these tires, not for the trailer. So we're just going to go ahead and mount them. A lot of time you can get at least the first one on most of the way just by working it. Will make me a liar, huh? All right. We're going to use these. These are just some cheap 16-inch tire spoons. I'd rather have bigger ones, but these are what I got in a pinch, and so far they do it. A better one's somewhere. I don't know. I've misplaced it for now. Hopefully we'll only need the one to finish the job. small bites and walk it on there. Usually gets toughest right there at the end. See how that sets all the way down on there? That's going to give me trouble trying to get air in it, and I don't have a bead blaster, so we'll just do what we can. See if we can at least get one bead to kind of seal. And go from there. Alright, let me get my air hose and one more tool. I can see we're going to need it. Okay. We are definitely going to struggle. With this style, I gotta have the valve core in it. That's not convenient. Oh, got lucky. Okay, gotta get this strap off here. If we don't, it's gonna get in the way. Now we gotta run enough air in it to seat the bead. Looks like we have. Whoops. Let's check our air pressure. And to be perfectly honest with you guys, the only reason that went as smooth as it is because it's like 80 plus degrees out and these tires have been sitting in the sun, so they're super pliable right now. So the other thing that helps is making sure, trying to get that lower bead to set. But if it's been like 30 degrees out here, I don't know if I'd have gotten it. Maybe eventually. We're about 15 psi. We got a ways to go. We were fortunate. The bead set real easy. Let's just finish airing it up. Good to go. Successful tire change. Anyway, hope you guys appreciated this, and